Sarkar from Trend Micro to address the audience.
Panelists, and sir, you have raised a lot of important questions regarding security. It is really very important, and all the speakers have talked about what is security is all about, the e-governance. Let me share before that, the subject here is more on emerging technologies and then security and the e-governance. Let us understand which world we are living today. Now, this is 2.4 billion internet users today. This is actually the 1/3 of human population on the internet. Another is Google actually index 1 trillion plus websites every day. Another important part is how many of you are the user of Facebook? Just how many of you are? Almost everybody, right? Here are the data points, right? 665 million websites are there and 1 billion Facebook users, and this is the data of 2013. Probably in the meantime, it has changed. Today I got another information from NDTV that WhatsApp is acquired by Facebook today. It is a $16 billion deal. Now, how many of you actually use Facebook from your mobile phone? Here is the data. 54% of the users use their Facebook from mobile devices. Smartphone, everybody is using, right? And here is, in 2012, 427 million smartphones sold. In 2012. Now, we are living in this world today. This is the technology. We used to go to the organizations, industries to get the new device. The other part of this, see, the adoption rate of the advanced devices. We used to go to the enterprises to get a big computing infrastructure, right? And today, see, within 2 years, iPad sold 66.1 million iPods sold in 2 years once it's launched. The adoption rate is incredible of these technologies. Another important part is, think about that, 5 years back, we used to actually manage 2 operating systems. Windows predominantly, and some part of this world is used to Mac. Now, what is the situation today? If you see this kind of operating system we use, now adoption rate in technologies and softwares, operating systems, complexity is huge, right? It is growing very fast. Another important part for the organizations, we always try to do it, how much time, how fast we can reach to 1 million users. Probably Facebook started this one. AOL, it took 9 years to reach 1 million users. After that, Facebook took 9 months to reach 1 million users. And interesting part is, they draw something, most of us don't even know the name. It took 9 days to reach 1 million users. Another part I have to highlight on this, even Facebook, somebody sends you a request, you have to accept it. What happens to WhatsApp? Even if I know you are in my contacts, I know you are in WhatsApp, I can send a photograph to you. There is no control. Right? This is the world we are living. Some other data points. Start talking about big data analytics. 2.5 quintillion bytes of data getting created every day. This is a source from IBM. Right? And another part is 90% of this data created in the last 2 years. So we are living in this world. And as you rightly said, sir, information is a very critical asset for any organization, be it enterprise, be it government, and we are dealing with it day in, day out. What happens, the other side of this coin is, every 1 second there is a new unique malware getting released. Have you heard any cyber threats in the last 5 years? There's a big time outbreak? No. Last 5 years there's no outbreak happened globally. We used to hear the new names, Nimda, Code Red, FunLab, lot of attacks, right? The whole world is red, then it is coming up, the attacks happen in the newspaper. Nowadays, you will not find this kind of virus outbreak. The other side is this, the commercial exploit kits are available. You don't need to be a very big technocrat to write a virus today. You spend $20 and buy a tool which can help you to write a malware. That's why it's so easy to exploit somebody. Now, this is the reality. Everybody in the world, they are using all layered security approaches. So you have rightly said that how secure we are. Answer, I also don't even know. 90% of the organization I'm talking about, they are not using security. They are using all the best of the breed security. Still, they have got active malware in their infrastructure. 55% of that infrastructure don't even know enterprises. They don't even know they are under attack. There is a change in this last 5 years that what kind of attacks are happening. I'm going to highlight on that point that what kind of attacks we are living today. Let's see the last 10 to 12 years, the threat landscape, how it has evolved. In 2001, it was worm, outbreak, viruses talked about, and we are living at the age of this one, in this mobile attacks. How many of you, most of us are using Android phones and smartphones, right? How many of you are using anti-malware and any security solution on your mobile devices? None of us, right? Percentage is very, very less. That's the actually ground these guys are launching an attack. And every time you go in office and probably in this hotel, you have got Wi-Fi connectivity. You just enable your Wi-Fi and get connected to the internet. Same thing happens to your organization. Now why the cyber criminals should come through different ways and means that they should come to a penetration to the perimeters. They will come from your endpoint, and which is probably the mobile phone. That's why these mobile attacks are increasing like anything. People are using some exploit toolkits which can be installed on mobile phones and come to an organization and report to your data center. It is so easy to write. Now, one question here, I have also one question, so two questions here. One is, how do modern attacks have in common? All the modern attacks, something is common in them. Can you answer? Can anybody answer that? What is common in today's attacks? This is the money. It is not about showing their ego at all. It is an industry. The industry is $30 billion industry. Right? They want to make money. Why the outbreak is not happening? Why this machine is not getting crashed? How many times you have seen your machine is getting crashed for a virus attack? You have not seen now. But why what they want? They are not interested that your machine should go down. They are interested that you should be up and running and access internet, and they can make money out of it. How do they make money out of it? They can make money out of it. Probably you are doing mobile banking, you are doing net banking. Let me share one thing. 20th March 2013, actually the war anniversary of South Korea. You know, sir, you were mentioning about ATM security. The whole infrastructure of the country on 20th of March was down. None of the ATM machine was not working, office infrastructure was down, and even electronic media, the news channels were down. It was an attack probably from one state to another state. I don't know who has done it, but objective was not actually to destroy the infrastructure, to show that, see, your country, your government cannot secure you. That's why the government infrastructure, security from the endpoint to the data center is very, very important. Another important part is, now these cyber criminals, actually, they are trying to make money out of it, right? But they need an infrastructure to launch an attack. This is based on IP. Whose infrastructure they are going to use? They are using customers' infrastructure. Why? We are mentioning that Internet Expressway, a lot of universities, they have got 200 Mbps of line. And if you don't have the proper security in place, that can be used as launch pad of an attack to somebody else. And it is happening here. And if you go and talk about, we work very closely with the government of India and Sarkar and all, we know a lot of organizations, they have got infrastructure. There's a very good internet infrastructure, but they don't have the proper security in place, and it is getting used by some cyber criminals to launch an attack to somebody else. At the end of the day, we are answerable for that. If we launch an attack to some other country, the question will come to us. Now, challenges. What are the challenges with this? The challenges with the current security controls, that the age, the era we are living today, the normal standard security controls is important, but not enough today. We need to think in a different way. It has changed. Even if you have got firewall ideas, it is ineffective. If your mobile device endpoint is compromised and you are bypassing your perimeter, it is important, it has to be there, right? Organizations, the employees, people talked about, speakers talked about the process. Employees are the quickest link. If we don't give the right knowledge to the employees and people are using the infrastructure, that's very, very important, can be exploited. Let's understand in today's scenario. Have you heard about this APT? It is called Advanced Persistent Threat. And we are living in the age of, with somebody talks about APT, somebody talks about advanced targeted attacks. This is the age of cyber threats. Now, if we understand that how actually cyber threat happens, then we can actually strategize our security solutions in the infrastructure. Now, all of us probably in Facebook, LinkedIn, or any other social media. Now, somebody wants to launch an attack to somebody. It is not a specific, it is not a generic attack. It is a specific attack to somebody else. Probably to some specific organization, one government to another government, and one nation state to another nation state. Have you heard about Stuxnet attack? This is an APT. Have you heard about this RSA attack? Organizations, security organization like RSA was compromised, right? These are in the news. Sony PlayStation Network, I am taking the names, all are in the newspaper. The Stuxnet is an attack launched to Israel, Iranian nuclear project by Israel, and it is published in the New York Times. These are a lot of things. Claim is another attack. This is the age we are living. It is not about normal cyber threats we are talking about. We are living in the age of advanced persistent threats. Government of India, other state governments, even sir, with your government in Maharashtra, we are also working very closely with Rajesh Agrawal sir, and we are providing security for you. And a lot of states we are working there, and people are thinking about that. Basically, BFSI, banking infrastructure, they are behind this. They are implementing this solution against this. They have got a right strategy. Now, how it is different from the generic cyber threats and malwares, right? It is customized, specifically designed for specific person or specific organization. They do social engineering to identify which is the weakest link. Then they come to the point of entry. They find out one weakest link in the organization that they compromise. It may be a mobile device, it may be a laptop, it can be a desktop. And then they create a command and control in this organization. That means the hacker, which is sitting there, he is sitting here taking control of the organization. Now, the difference is, the change has happened to this. It is not an outside-in attack. The cyber criminal is not coming from outside the world bypassing your perimeter security. He is coming from the endpoint. That means you are enticed to go to the site and they are connecting a communication. Now, it is inside-out attack now. And they do actually, they are very slow, they are very, very, very silently, they actually kill people. And they, at the end of the day, they're interested in something. They reach to data center, they exploited data to the cyber criminals. And what has happened, I'll share a video once I finish my presentation. It will give you this live, how the attacks, advanced persistent attack happens today. This is the life cycle of the new attack. Now, what should be the strategy, right? Strategy is, since these attacks are custom, for a specific organization, you don't even know that what is happening. You may be the first victim for this. Now, if it is a customized attack, you need a custom defense strategy for that. For any organization, be it government, be it any enterprise. The threats are same everywhere, right? What should the strategy and defense life cycle for your organization? You should have something, you need to acquire visibility. Sir was mentioning that visibility is the only answer. You cannot put controls that actually the tablets is used by the villagers in remote places. You cannot put controls, you do this, don't do this. But unless and until the challenge is, if you know that this machine is compromised, you can inform them. this endpoint in the network is compromised and then it has got some malware or something else, you can take steps. That's why you need to have a network-wide visibility. Another is that sometimes these threats are actually zero-day vulnerabilities. It is not known to anybody, even the security providers like us. You need to have the technologies in place on-premise that it gives you, that protects you from the zero-day vulnerabilities. Another important part is you need to know you have to have a global threat intelligence. Global threat intelligence means what kind of threats are happening in the other part of the world. If we don't know dynamically, then it will be very difficult for us to strategize and protect my infrastructure. Another important part is response. If you know there is a threat happening, what should the response mechanism? I was attending another event a couple of days back in Hyderabad, and somebody, one of the speakers has to join this panel, and he was late. And asked him why you were late. You know, my link was down, that's why I got late. Then I asked him the same simple question, you don't have the redundant link. Well, yes, I have got a redundant link, but if the primary link goes down, then I realize the secondary link is not working. This is a basically planning, right? That's why we need to do on the security also, unless and until incident happens, unfortunate part of is we put the scanners in the hotels. For that we need to wait for a 2611. That means unless and until the attack happens in Mumbai, we don't put scanner. But we wait that the incident happens, then only take measures. That we have to change the mindset. We have to learn from others, and we have to learn from the other states or the countries. You know, in China, in Korea, they have got standard the regulation. Any organization in that country, if they are spreading some spams, if they are encouraging bots, then they will be penalized. That's why you have to secure your infrastructure first, right? How the visibility works? Let's say this is your infrastructure, you have got all the perimeter security in place. What you need to do, you are transferring your information, it may be your G2C applications, it may be your mail, your communication is happening. What you need to do, and a government agency, you need to have visibility what is passing through my network. Whether it is malicious or whether this contents are set. Now you have to identify three things. Is a malicious content, or is communication is suspicious communication is happening, or you need to understand the attack behavior. Whether it's a generic attack, is a specific attack. Now it has to give these things. That means since being an organization and we cannot have the control of every citizen, if people don't like blocking, right? People, if you talk about, okay, you are blocked for this, nobody will accept it. It is better way to doing this, filter it, and they get the visibility and enable them. This is a problem we need to resolve. And I will just share one thing that for the reality today, and you will love to hear this one. You just watch this video, and what I have told probably will give you an idea of what kind of actual. Get me the sound, please.
There is a battle raging. One that many don't even realize exists. A fight in which anyone can be the victim and anyone can be the aggressor. It can be motivated by politics, by ideals, or simply by financial gain. Just recently, a large company was targeted, and due to one of these attacks, ended up more than $60 million worse off. Targeted attacks are a reality. What you're about to see is based on the real story of one such attack.
Don't even go there. Go where? Everyone knows hand shot first. Hand shot second. What are you talking about? You not seen the original 1977? First. Second. Hey, get over here.
Got a job. So this is what we're going to do. First of all, we need to research the target. Find out what you can about their finances and social interactions. Make a list of departments and staff and get them on the wall. I want to know what these people are like. What are their online habits? Do they talk about their employer online? Also get me their perimeter security and internet-facing systems. We really need to know what we're dealing with here.
Criminals have examined the target's defenses and know what they're up against. Now they're packing and encoding different malware samples to make sure they remain undetected by standard security software. Sean is using anonymizing software to connect to underground forums. These are used to offer attack toolkits, intelligence, or even just for criminals to offer each other advice.
So what do we have, Ralph?
Well, we have our tools set up. The ones that didn't get picked up by any of the security scanners we set up. And for access, we set up a booby trap website that will install the tool on the computer as soon as the user gets there. The link was sent to all the email addresses that we found on the social profiles of the employees. Now we just gotta wait for them to take the bait.
Fortunately, the security software recognized the URL the criminals were using to host their exploit kit, and the email was automatically deleted.
That was 2 days ago. Has anyone taken the tool yet?
No.
Then we need something else.
Maybe the old-fashioned way. The old free flash drive trick.
Hi, I found this in front of the main entrance. Could you check it out, please?
Yeah, it's good you brought it here. Thanks.
What are the employees talking about now?
Well, a lot of people are talking about the company lowering pay.
And there you go.
We're in!
This is it. The criminals have broken through the defenses, combining a zero-day exploit with some social engineering to get the victim to open their malicious file. This computer is now under their control, and they can use this user account to begin exploring the network undetected. The hackers look for any information they can use to exploit the system and gain higher privileges to access further data. Here they find a login page to an HR database and attempt an SQL injection attack. It fails. They find an email from another user that seems to have access to important databases and target him. After dumping the local password cache, the attackers have domain admin credentials. They browse the network to find the machine belonging to the new target. They connect with the remote desktop to drop a backdoor for later use and access the local hard drive, searching them for sensitive data.
We picked up a minor breach on one of our workstations. We've isolated it and made a thorough scan. We found the bot and removed it. Everything's fine now. Probably just some script-kiddie stuff.
Listen, we threw some back doors on it. We have domain admin, which means we have access to the whole network. We're so close. It's a done deal.
Now it's time for the payoff. Exfiltration. They return to the compromised machine and find their goal. Credentials for a development database. A brute force attack against the server gets them root access and they're free to dump the entire source code for a critical project. All they have to do now is bring it home.
Just like that.
These types of cyber attack are becoming more frequent, costing companies hundreds of thousands of dollars. Traditional security simply can't keep up. Criminals can test their attacks to the point of invisibility and use legitimate compromised accounts to stay under the radar once inside a network. Effective security should operate on the assumption that breach will happen. Effective security should be your eyes and ears throughout the network, enabling you to detect and contain every aspect of a targeted intrusion. In one recent survey, more than 70% of respondents felt that their own organization's security activities were insufficient to cope with such eventuality. Oh, God.
Thank you.
Don't be
This
a
is how
victim.
organizations are getting compromised, and this is the way cyber criminals work today. Thank you.